I've been doing a lot of thinking, and part of my frustration with YouTube right now, I'm not getting a return on my investment. And during 2020, that was when I started taking my channel seriously. And I had a lot of time. Everybody had a lot of time on their hands, and I think some people picked up habits that may not have been the healthiest. I picked up a habit where I was seeing my life change and benefit from the habit that I picked up, which was also a time passer. I didn't know what day it was. I didn't know, what day of the week it was. All I knew was that today I was gonna be bored and I'm going to record something so I can edit so the day could go by faster. So then, I started making longer videos, doing research on how to grow my channel, doing research on how to make thumbnails, and I really was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna actually do it. I'm gonna take it seriously. And if I'm putting in all this work to make content, I want to get something out of it. And then especially when I figured out that I could make an income from it, I was like, yeah, once I found out that the requirements to get monetized were so reachable and so tangible for me, I was like, oh, that's no problem. And so my mission was to get those 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. And it really did change my life because I've been very transparent about the fact that in high school, I didn't have time for a job. I didn't have time for a job, so I had an internship. But with being homeschooled, being in dual enrollment, and being a dancer, I didn't have time for a job. So I had my own high school work, and then I had the college work that came along with dual enrollment, and then I had dance. And the program that I was in, it was a conservatory, and you had to pick up at least 15 hours a week, 15 to 20. So the minimum hours that you would be at the studio was 15. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to commit to something. 15 hours a week is a lot of time. So you combine 15 hours a week with the fact that it took me an hour and a half to get there. So I would take the bus. No, I would walk to the bus stop, take the bus to the train, and then I would have about a 45-minute train ride. Then I get off the train and walk to the studio. So that's 3 hours of travel time plus 15 hours of dance training. So then that's not even 15 hours is really on the low end, because when you have rehearsals for shows coming up, then you're gonna be in the studio doing your classes, and then you're gonna have more rehearsals on top of that. So I never really had time to have a job, and anytime I wanted something that had a monetary value, anything that I wanted that I had to pay for, I either had to wait till my birthday, because my grandmother always sends money. I would have to wait until my birthday to get what I wanted, or I'd have to ask my parents. And my parents, they already have 4 kids, and I was always trying to be mindful of I had the sport that had the most amount of money coming out of my parents' account. So I'm gonna just say the number. The dance school that I went to was $7,000, and I think I was on a financial scholarship. I was on like a merit financial type thing. So we had to pay half of that. So in addition to the $3,500 for dance, we also had to pay for a Metro card, because for the longest I was in this program where if you're going, like if you are a particular age, you can ride the train and the Metro for free. But for the longest, people are very discriminatory against homeschooled people. And so we had this issue where they were saying I wasn't eligible for the Metro card where I could ride for free. So we were spending like almost $70 a week on my Metro card, then the $3,500 for dance, and then my braces. I just always felt like, okay, this sister is doing ice skating, this sister is doing theater, but nobody's activity cost as much as my activity. So when it came to things that like I didn't really want much, like in high school, I don't really remember wanting a lot. I would say that the thing that I wanted the most, I wanted social media apps. Like that's all I wanted in high school, which is crazy because now I don't have any social media other than YouTube. So that cracks me up to this day. Like everything that I really wanted so bad, I wanted a Snapchat. I wanted a Snapchat so bad. Got a Snapchat when I turned 18 and only had it for a month. So like, yeah, so I could, the things that I wanted, I just knew that if anything came up and I wanted to buy it, I was gonna use my own money because I didn't want to ask my parents. And so when the pandemic hit and I needed or wanted things, I was always like, well, I don't really feel comfortable getting a job because of everything that's going on, and I want to keep it in the legal realm. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start with my YouTube channel and I'm gonna get monetized. And I feel like I had a meeting where I sat down with my parents, and I think this was in 2019, and they were asking, I think it was before my freshman year, but we sat down and they were like, you know, what's your plan? What's your plan for the upcoming year? And at the time, I think I had like 300 or 400 subscribers. I think it was between 300 and 500. And they were like, what do you want to do with your channel? And I was like, oh, well, I want to get monetized. And I don't think anybody really believed like how serious I was about my channel. And so then I started really getting serious and uploading 3 times a week, like dedication, because I was like, if there is a way where I can make money from the videos that I make from the comfort of my own home, I'll take that over any little job. Like, I'll take that over any little job where I'm about to get minimum wage and possibly get infected, because this was like at the beginning. And so that's what I did. I was like, it's gonna be a form of passive income where I'm gonna be able to benefit from the videos that I made years ago. The videos that I made in 2020, I'm still making money from them today. Although it's not a lot. It's like every time somebody watches like any of the videos that are monetized, I'm getting a little penny or something. Had a lot of I had a lot more financial freedom, and I had the ability to pay for things I never would have had the ability to do so pre-YouTube. How that I have realized that a lot of the views, likes, engagement, comments, money, a lot of the engagement that was coming to my channel during that time was because of the topic of natural hair. That's when I started to feel I don't really think people are here for me. They're here for this particular topic that I have knowledge on. However many subscribers that I had gotten to, it felt like if I want to change the topic that I'm passionate about, you're kind of like done with me. So I was like, oh, so this whole time I'm like, oh, I have 8K, 9K, I have 10K. I'm like, dang, 10,000 supporters, that's a lot of people. But the whole time I didn't have 10K supporters. I probably had like 100 or 200 because I felt like the support was very one-sided. The support was, I'm not supporting you unless you put out some video about how to grow your hair. And it got repetitive. And the moment I started feeling like this is boring me, I'm not having fun, I could feel myself getting very irritated. I could feel myself like resenting the type of videos that I was making. But of course, like during that time, I tried to experiment and I tried to do other videos that I was really passionate about. And I would just see like, I would see how disengaged my audience would be when I made videos about what I was really passionate about. And I don't want to make it seem like I always like didn't enjoy making natural hair videos, because that's not the case. If you talk to anybody in my family, you will know there was a time in my life where I was watching natural hair videos all day, every day on YouTube. I was, because I had came from having locks to combing my locks out. And when my mom told me, when I asked to get my locks removed, my mom told me, if I take them out, like, you're gonna be on your own. Like, I'm not gonna be responsible for your hair. And so I was on my own, and I had never handled my own texture. I had never handled my own texture, period, because I had locks. So yeah, once the locks were out, I knew that I had a responsibility. If I didn't want to look crazy, I had a responsibility to take control of my hair journey, so I wasn't walking out the house looking a mess. And it did happen a couple times. The focus of my channel has shifted since I have changed as a person. I could have never imagined that I would cut off my waist length. And to be honest, it was really butt length, but I cut 4 inches before the big chop. Like, I cut my hair in March, and I did a big chop in August, but I cut my hair. It was not a trim. I cut my hair. So my hair was really butt length. So I never imagined that my hair would get to a point where like I was always obsessed with like hair length, because when we comb my locks out, my hair was like collarbone length. Somebody is just jamming. Basically, when my spirit and when I felt myself internally not liking it anymore, that's the moment when I stopped. And it was organic. And it was discouraging to me to not feel supported in my transition, because the whole time I thought that everybody was here for me. And that doesn't feel like it was the case. It may have been the case. I've seen people say, oh, I've been subscribed to you and I'm not seeing your videos. That's when I get frustrated, because I'm like, see, that's what I don't like. I don't like when the platforms try to play with, oh, I'm not getting my notifications are on, but I'm not getting it, and all of that drama. And so I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I definitely don't think I want to stop completely, but in order to continue, I'm gonna have to reframe the way I think about my videos. And yesterday I was kind of thinking like, this morning and yesterday, but like, what if I think of my videos as like a documentary? Because when I think of my videos in a regular like context, without thinking about like, I am really like documenting the day in my life, a day in my life when I'm 21, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm only getting older. So I'm documenting a time where I'll be able to look back on it, and other people will be able to say, oh yeah, I got to watch Christian be 21, and I got to watch this, and I got to watch that. So I feel like looking at it more so from a documentary perspective will help me with the lack of engagement that I'm getting. Because if you're filming a documentary, you're not really too concerned about how many people comment. You know, it's kind of like you just put your art out just for it to be out there, and you put it out because you're proud of it. And I feel like that'll also help me with, you know, feeling like I need to put out 5 videos a week, and you need to make sure that it's this and that for the algorithm, and you know, everybody is doing their thumbnails like this now, and blah 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 blah. So I am going to set boundaries around how long I am going to spend on my channel, because I feel like my frustration starts like my last video that I did on my face routine. I spent a long time getting the music. Oh my goodness, I had almost an hour of footage, and what y'all saw was a 9-minute video, and I didn't even hit 100 views. And I'm like, this video is so good. Like, I worked on the text overlays, I worked on the transitions, like I really worked on that video. And for me to post it and for it to get not even 100 views and 9 likes, very frustrating, very frustrating. So I'm gonna have to, because I have another job now, because there was a point where YouTube was my only stream of income. So there was a lot of extra pressure to get the videos out, make videos on topics that other people will watch, because your money that you make is based off of the views that you get. And so now that I don't have the pressure of YouTube being my only stream of income, last month I barely got my check, because you have to hit the $100 threshold, and I was at like 97 for the longest, and I was like, let's get this money. And I'm starting to realize like there might be months where my old videos aren't really getting traction and I might not get my check. And so I think me almost not getting my check for this month is kind of forcing me to be like, so like how long are you gonna let yourself sit in a funk if you get to the $97 amount and you don't get to the 100? Like, are you gonna just self-sabotage and not upload at all for the next month, which is just gonna be a domino effect of cause and effect, I guess. It's gonna be the domino effect of just you trying to self-sabotage because you're not happy because you didn't get your money, when it's like, that's the thing with this passive income. You don't know. I told y'all my highest month, I made $600. My lowest month, I made $108. So it's very up and down, and I think I have to remember that that is one of the complications that comes along with involving yourself in a hobby that can also make money, is that's why I'm so big on saying that I don't want to make dance my only job, because I feel like I'm really going to start resenting it. I'm gonna start resenting it if I'm going to all these auditions, trying my hardest, and I'm trying to book all these shows and commercials, and people are telling me no. I'm gonna start resenting dance, and I'm gonna be like, I spent 20 something years putting my life on the line for this craft, for me to get out into the professional world, and people keep telling me no, and I'm trying to pay my bills. I'm trying to pay my bills, book these jobs, and y'all are telling me no. So now I'm starting to resent dance, because dance is the thing that is preventing me from paying my rent, you know? So it's just like, I have to rethink my channel and start thinking of my videos as like me documenting my life, and I just so happen to be making, because what I really could do is make the videos, upload them, and put them on unlisted, and nobody would watch. So it is a privilege and an honor that I make those videos public, and it is a blessing that you are able to watch a small percentage of my weekly life. And I really do appreciate a lot of the other creators that are realizing it's not about creation, it's about documentation. Like, I don't think I've ever really been the type of person to be like, oh, like, what am I gonna do today so that I can have something to film? Or I don't want to film for you guys if I'm only in my house. Like, I don't want to film day in the life vlogs if I'm not going out. I feel like I have to make myself do things so that my life can seem more enjoyable for people to watch, because nobody's gonna watch a day in the life vlog when I'm just in the house. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, every single video that you guys have seen, the majority of them have been in the house. So I am working on documenting and being as concerned with the analytics, because every time I go into my YouTube studio, I see, oh, your views are down. Do you want to know why your views are down? Your views are down because the topics that you're discussing aren't popular. The topics that you're discussing, advertisers are not interested. That's why your revenue is down. And so for some people, that will click in their mind to say, okay, so what you're saying is what I was making a year ago had them watching. So what I should do is do what I was doing, even though I was unhappy. And so that's the challenge for me. I think that contentment and peace is better than money. I know that if I continue to do videos on a topic that I did not want to talk about, I'll probably leave like Leah Lee. Y'all know Leah Lee? Like she left. Like she told everybody, listen, I'm a YouTuber. I have over 500,000 supporters, and it's starting to take over my life to the point where I'm trying to be in a relationship and keep my partner private and away from my platform. And my supporters have done a whole detective search and found my partner when I was purposefully keeping them private. And she was like, deuces, and she left. And so I found out yesterday that she privated all of her old videos, and she posted a new one, and she was like, I miss it. She was like, I miss recording, I miss this. And she wrote a pinned comment about her being in her people pleaser era, when she was pushing out videos. And I was like, I resonate. I was like, I resonate with that. And so she's like, I'm setting boundaries now. I'm gonna upload when I want to, and y'all gonna be grateful. Cause to be honest, nobody is obligated to share their life on the internet. They do so, and it comes along with a lot of sacrifices. And for me, I have already experienced a lot of sacrifice that I didn't think I would have to endure with such a small following. My mom, during the time that I was unemployed, my mom told me that her friend was looking for, I forget what the position was, but my mom had a friend that was looking for employees. And my mom, I don't know if my mom suggested me or if the woman had asked my mom about me, but my mom came back to me and said that the friend of hers really liked me, but she was hesitant to hire me because if something went wrong in our working relationship, she didn't want to end up on my channel. And I'm like, that is insane to me, that me talking about my experience being wrongfully fired from Chipotle. Chipotle. Me talking about my experience being wrongfully fired from Chipotle made an employer say, I don't want to hire her because if something goes wrong, I don't want my business on blast. And I'm like, that's crazy that people are more concerned about what you might say than just treating you good. Why would we get to a point where I would feel the need to talk about you? Like, I just kind of felt like if you don't want to hire me, just say that. Don't make up excuses about what ifs. Don't make scenarios where something could have possibly went wrong and then I could see Christian making a video about it. What? Treat people with respect so they don't have to make videos about how you treated them. So it's like there's a lot of things that go on in the background that, you know, when I come on here and I do my rants about my frustrations with my channel, I don't always go into full detail. But there's a lot of things that I am having to sacrifice in order to be authentic. And right now, I wanted to take my scarf off before this clip. I did not want to get on the World Wide Web with my scarf on, but that's how I woke up. That's how a lot of people woke up. And you know, the older generation of Black people are all about presentation, how do you look to others, image, perception. I'm not about that. I'm not about that. So when I'm making authentic vlogs, there's stuff in there that I'm like, bro, I really want to take this out. Like, I really cried on the internet. I cried on the internet about people taking advantage of me. But other people have done the same in private. It's just the fact that I had the courage and the bravery to put it out there for other people, because that's part of what I'm trying to do with my authentic vlogs, is like show other people that you aren't the only person in the world. Because I feel like that's what life feels like. Sometimes we don't want to talk about these very like taboo topics. And for me at that time, and still working on forgiveness and not holding grudges and being resentful towards people that have done bad things and wronged you, I feel like a lot of other people are dealing with that. But I want to continue to use my platform in a way that I can feel proud of and feel like I am documenting my life, inspiring others, and having conversations that may not have been had if it wasn't me. If it wasn't me, and if my channel wasn't on YouTube. Like, I just want to know that I'm continuing to add value. And if I'm having people not wanting to hire me based off of me speaking my truth, then I know that I'm on the right track, because I'm striking a nerve. And that's the crazy thing. I'm not going to keep going on and on about it, but not one time did you think, oh wow, like she was, you know, treated unfairly. Like, I'm so sorry, or like I'm apologetic that she had that experience working at an establishment. If she worked with me, I wouldn't treat her that way. Your first go-to is, oh, I don't want to hire her. And she was talking about I like her a lot. Like, I read her resume and I really like her, but I feel like if I give her an interview, I'm gonna want to hire her, but I can't because she got a big mouth. She speaks up about injustice. Like, that's not even a workplace I want to be in, because you're the type to not even do employee surveys because you don't want to hear feedback, you don't want to hear criticism. So I'm appreciative that I didn't get that job, because I feel like, rejection is God's protection, and the job that I have now is where I'm supposed to be right now. So this clip was not supposed to be 40 minutes. It was supposed to be 10 or less. Honestly, 5 or less. But I am intentionally starting a journey of the documentary. I don't know why that it's pronounced, but I am starting this life documentary through my YouTube channel. And that's this clip. Honestly, should this be its own episode? Because at a certain point, when the videos start to get too long, people start tuning out. But then again, see, we're working on not worrying about analytics. So I might make something that's an hour and a half. I might make a little movie. So yeah, I'm gonna probably stop saying like, yeah, let me know in the comments below if you, because that's part of it. I feel like when I don't get comments, I get really discouraged. I get really sad. So it's like, if people comment, people comment. If they don't, they don't. But I'm gonna stop acting like I'm uploading my videos to YouTube, and I'm gonna start acting like my channel is like my archives, my life archives.